Hey guys, and welcome to the third video in the Henchman film series on YouTube. Today I want to answer a question that I've been asked a couple of times now, and that is why Will Ferrell? And I suppose at its most basic level, well, just look at him. Pretty much anything that he does to me is funny, especially his look. You know, whether he looks like this, or this, it all just works really, really well. But on a more serious note, I genuinely think he has been a pioneer of comedy over the last 20 years or so, more specifically in the random comedy genre. And what I mean by that is those bizarre one-liners that just come out of nowhere in a film and crack you up. You know, they fold you in half, if you will. The other part that's really, really important is if you've seen some of his films that on paper aren't really great, like A Night at the Roxbury is a perfect example. The story behind that is two characters, two brothers who get refused entry into a nightclub at the start of the film, and they spend the rest of the time trying to figure out how to get into a club, trying to become cool enough to get into it anyway. Doesn't sound like a great story, but the execution is phenomenal, and it just comes down to himself and what he actually brings to the role and to the rest of the film, of course. Now, the epitome of that example is Anchorman. On paper, it is absolutely horrendous. Like, if I were to sit here and try and pitch four newsmen whose biggest problem in life was trying to figure out how to deal with a female co-anchor, you'd be thinking, yeah, that's never going to work as a film, move on to the next idea, and rightfully so. But because of him and what he brings to the film, it is phenomenal. It is, of course, also one of the most quoted films of our generation. Gene Wilder sums it up absolutely perfectly. So really, really important to bring that type of character, I suppose, to the Henchman itself. For me, his face, going back to it, is just, it is pure comedy. And this has been the inspiration for countless memes. One of my favorites is, of course, this one here. If you haven't read it, I'll give you a second to do so. That was quick. So with this one, I didn't create this meme. I don't think the guy who wrote it created it. I'm pretty sure someone was just looking at it one day and it just appeared on the screen itself. That is the humor that is created by this face over here. Now, the last part, and the most important and most relevant as well for the Henchman film, is the main character is an average guy. I don't want, you know, your Brad Pitts or George Clooney's of the world. I want someone who girls back in the 90s wouldn't have hung up on their walls. You know, I don't think anyone does that anymore. It's all on phones these days. But yeah, like, unless he had a body something like this, which obviously he doesn't, and even if he did, just looking at the face, it just makes me laugh. That's totally not what he should be. So it is absolutely the perfect character, the perfect actor. So hopefully that answers to you guys why I want to have, why I have to have, more accurately, Will Ferrell as the Henchman. So guys, please do follow the Henchman on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and everything else that there is. Thank you. Have a good one.